Hey folks, welcome back. So today is Wednesday, September 18th, and you may or may not know that Ecuador has a pretty major blackout scheduled for tonight. Between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. on the 19th. That's an 8-hour span. However, after doing a little digging and checking the news and checking with all the pertinent resources, it won't be a solid 8 hours for everyone across the country. What's basically going to happen is, depending on the power supplier for your area, for here in Salinas, it's CNEL, there's a schedule. And within that 8 hours, there are going to be 3 to 4 hour spans in each area when the power will actually be out. For our area, it's scheduled for 3 a.m., from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Now, when the news first came out about the power outage, we just assumed that our power was going to be out from 10 p.m. tonight until 6 a.m. in the morning. So we kind of had everything prepared. We had everything ready and charged up that we need. We have our battery backup, but it would have been overnight, so it wouldn't have mattered too much because we wouldn't have been using the internet anyway. But as the government got their act together and decided to put the information out about when the power would actually be out, it became a little more reasonable. Because when you think about it, an 8-hour span when the power's out, that can be an issue. Certain parts of the country are warm and you may not have a fan or air conditioning during that time of night, and it can get really uncomfortable. We're actually kind of fortunate here where we are on the coast because it is cool at night. It's cool during the day, honestly. And we get a nice breeze, so yeah, we wouldn't have our fan, which we have on all the time. Basically, we can't sleep without it. That wouldn't have been running, but otherwise it would have been perfectly comfortable for us. However, understand that for a lot of people, it may not have been very comfortable. So there was actually kind of a run on rechargeable fans in cities across the country where they were available, and rechargeable like LED lights. I actually put a clip in here about that.
No es exagerado decir que en el centro de Guayaquil los focos recargables se venden en menos de un minuto.
Mira, ya no quedan 100 focos. Ya casi en un día hemos vendido casi 800 focos.
Los tapabocas también tuvieron un incremento en su época de la pandemia y estamos así viendo ese boom con los focos recargables, protectores de voltaje, generadores.
Otros artículos en alta demanda son los ventiladores recargables.
Ventilador recargable con luz,
Cuya batería se venden rápidamente. También los generadores eléctricos.
Ha crecido desde que dieron el anuncio de los cortes de luz.
Quienes viven en lugares alejados llegan a las ciudades para conseguir lo necesario.
¿Hasta dónde lleva los generadores? ¿Hasta qué punto?
Hasta la isla Punao.
El comercio aprovecha la oportunidad que se presenta con estos apagones para reactivar sus ventas, por lo menos temporalmente, mientras la ciudadanía busca que las horas sin electricidad los afecten lo menos posible.
So why is this happening? Well, there's several reasons. I've talked about this in a previous video, with the country just basically not doing maintenance and all the things they were supposed to do with the power system, over the past however many years, and it's in bad shape. The reservoirs where the country generates the bulk of its power, there's a drought. You may not know this, but there's a drought across South America, especially like Bolivia and Brazil, but it has affected parts of the Amazon in Ecuador, which is where we generate a lot of our power. Colombia has been going through a drought, and their power generation has been down, so they haven't been able to sell power to Ecuador, so it makes it more difficult for Ecuador to get power. Ecuador has leased a power generating barge that was actually parked not far from where we are. You can see it from our building for a few days, and then it moved up the coast down the coast to Guayaquil, where it is now. It's parked in the Guayas River, and it's supposed to be beginning its power generation or testing phase at the moment. And as far as I know, the government has ordered 2 more of those barges to help basically fill the gap in the power distribution because they can't just produce enough of it right now. Most of the country right now is in a dry season. So with the switch from El Nino to La Nina, I'm not really sure exactly what's going to happen with the wet season. And the wet season here in Salinas isn't that wet, but it hopefully will be rainy in the area where we need to generate power. If not, then there's probably going to be more cuts, They haven't really talked about when that may or may not happen. Of course, they have to wait and see, but there may be more cuts. So anyone watching this, if you're in Ecuador planning to visit, you keep that in mind. It's not debilitating for most folks, most expats. I'm just going to be serious about that. Most expats won't have won't be as affected by it as maybe some of the locals, because expats, you know, by our nature, we can kind of come and go, and we come with a lot of resources. Yes, you may not be used to power going out. At the same time, you may be living in a place that has like a generator, or you may have a few more resources than some of the locals who have a harder time dealing with the power outage than you might. When it comes to transportation during this blackout, the major distributors like trucking companies and stuff, they've enacted this plan that apparently they used during COVID, where they ride in caravans on the highways to distribute in the most major thoroughfares like Guayaquil to Cuenca, Guayaquil to like Quito, and they travel in convoys of like 30 to 50 vehicles. And it's gonna be a lot more like security on the road, military, police, to make sure that transportation is safe during those hours. And just to give another little update on us, we are packing, that's why in this weird recording situation right here is because our apartment is a mess. We got stuff all over the place. So I'm actually going to do a little video of the place that we live. We've been living the last 2.5 years, because most of you've never actually seen it. And of course, just because we're kind of private people, we didn't really want to show exactly where we lived while we were living here. But we're going to be moving, so I'll show you. We'll be gone by the time you see the video. Yeah, we'll do like a little apartment tour or something like that, so you can see where we've been at and give you an idea of something that you could get here on the coast in Salinas. Because like I said, we really love this place. This unit in particular, we really love it because we love this building. Next week, we'll be making our move to Cuenca, and we're gonna have a lot of work to do. So I probably won't be filming a video or putting out a video the following week. But stay tuned. We'll see what we do from here. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe if you haven't. Check our merch store, check our other channels. There's be links in the description all over the place. Thanks again. We really appreciate all the views, all the comments. Comment down below with any questions that you might have. And once again, thanks for watching.